So, kids getting a driver license, huh? Clear the roads! Seriously though, it's scary stuff. Your new driver hurtling down the freeway, to say nothing of the insurance hike. Whoo boy. But really, look at the statistics. Drivers between the ages of 15 and 19 are much more likely to experience a collision. You don't want that. I don't want that. Heck, the government doesn't want that. And that's why states nationwide have adopted graduated driver licensing regulations. I know, it sounds complicated. But don't worry, I'm here to help. Welcome to Graduated Driver Licensing Made Simple. Now, each state has its own set of specific rules and regulations. But today, we're taking a look at California. Meet Daniel and his mom, Kay. They're about to start on the great adventure of the GDL. Daniel turned 15 and a half yesterday. In California, this means he's just old enough to apply for his learner permit. To do this, he needs to complete or be enrolled in driver education and driver training. Fortunately, he finished his driver education class last week and is currently halfway through his driver training course. He and his mom have even spent time together studying this year's California Driver Handbook. All they have to do now is head down to the local DMV, where they'll both sign off on his permit paperwork, and he'll take the written driver exam. 46 harrowing questions later, Daniel has passed his test and is a proud learner permit recipient. Now, the fun part. Daniel needs to clock 50 hours of supervised driving time, 10 of which have to be at night, with his mom, a driving instructor, or another licensed adult over the age of 25. Kay will need to sign off on paperwork stating that Daniel has indeed been practicing his lane changes and three-point turns. Oh yeah, she'll also be keeping track of Daniel, logging his day and night driving hours too. The supervised driving period is really important because it gives experienced drivers a chance to make sure that their protege is learning excellent safety practices behind the wheel. Now that he's got his permit, Daniel needs to spend 6 months working on his driving abilities under his mom's watchful eye before moving on to the next phase. Meet Amanda and her uncle Jason. Amanda is 16 years old and just spent the last 6 months learning Jason's best tips and tricks for how to pull off the perfect parallel parking job, among other vital rules of the road. She's now ready to embark on that rite of passage, the road test. She and Jason head to the DMV, where Amanda will show off her shiny new driving skills. With a passing score here, she'll enter the intermediate stage of the GDL. Now, she can finally strike out on her own in that brand new Mercedes. Yeah, or whatever. She may be allowed to drive solo now, but there are still safety restrictions on her intermediate license. Until she's spent a year with an intermediate license, or until she turns 18, she can't drive between the hours of 11 p.m. and 5 a.m., or drive with other passengers under the age of 20, unless accompanied by a licensed adult over the age of 25. These restrictions are in place to minimize risks and distractions and maximize the experience the new driver gets. Amanda knows it's important to stay alert and aware while she's driving, because the law has specific provisions for intermediate drivers. Repeated accidents or injuries caused by drivers with an intermediate license carry fines and can even result in their license being suspended for an additional 12 months. After 1 year of safe driving with an intermediate license, the state's safety restrictions will be lifted. Congratulations! At this point, Amanda is a fully licensed, unrestricted, ready-to-go driving machine. Hopefully this handy guide has helped you make sense of the ins and outs of graduated driver licensing. For more information and specific rules for your own state, check out impactteendrivers.org. Happy driving!